All right, let's dive in. Today we're talking about something we do all day, every day. But let's be honest, we don't always get it right. Verbal communication. And I promise you, there's a surprising truth here about what it really is and how to nail it.
I mean, come on, of course you have, right? We've all been there. That sinking feeling when a text just lands completely wrong, or you're in a big meeting and the perfect words just disappear. It's a universal feeling, being misunderstood. But what if there was a way to fix that, to get it right way more often?
Okay, so let's get our terms straight right from the start. When you hear the word verbal, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Speaking, right? Talking. Well, here's the first big surprise. That's only half the story. Verbal communication is actually the whole shebang. It's any time we use words. So yeah, that means speaking, but it also means writing. Emails, texts, reports, all of it falls under this one big umbrella.
So to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to break it down into its two fundamental parts. You can think of them like two sides of the same coin, each with its own special power, its own job to do.
First up, let's talk about the one we all know best, speaking. This is communication in the wild. It's happening in real time. It's the brainstorming sessions, the arguments, the quick laughs. It can be kind of messy, but man, it's alive. This is how we actually build our world, just one conversation at a time.
And what's so cool about this is that speaking isn't just one thing. It's actually a building process. It's like a ladder. You start at the bottom with just a basic sound. That sound gets shaped into a word. The actual physical act of saying that word, that's speech. Then, we use the rules of language to string those words into sentences that make sense. And finally, when you do all of that with another person, bam, you've got a conversation. It's this incredible journey from a little noise all the way to a real human connection.
So, you want to be a more powerful speaker. What are the secrets? Well, it's actually way simpler than you might think. First off, clarity is your absolute best friend. Just use simple, direct words. Next, your tone. It's everything. It's the music that plays behind your words, and it can change the entire meaning. And finally, here's the real pro move. Just pause. Think before you open your mouth. Seriously, it's the difference between just making noise and actually connecting with someone.
And this really gets to the heart of what makes speaking so special. I mean, written words can feel kind of cold, right? Distant. But a real live conversation, it's spontaneous. It's got energy. It's how we build trust, how we solve problems in the moment, and how we form all the bonds that make our lives, well, our lives. Take that away and our interactions would just be flat, lifeless.
Okay, so let's switch gears. Let's flip that coin over and talk about the other side, the power of writing. Now, if speaking was all about being in the moment, writing is about something totally different. It's about precision, and it's about permanence.
This quote from Francis Bacon just nails it perfectly. He says, speaking or conference makes you a ready man. Why? Because it's fast, you're on your feet, you're responding. But writing, that makes you an exact man. And that's because it forces you to slow down, to really choose your words with care, and to build your thoughts with this incredible, deliberate clarity.
And that's exactly why writing feels so heavy sometimes, so different. Think about it. A promise you make in a hallway conversation can be forgotten. But an email? An email lives forever. And that permanence is what gives writing its power. It's why we sign contracts instead of just shaking hands. The written word creates a permanent record, and that record carries some serious weight.
Okay, so we've got these two amazing tools in our toolbox, speaking and writing. The real art, the real skill, is knowing which one to pull out and when. And trust me, this isn't a random choice. It's a strategic decision that can totally change the outcome of, well, pretty much anything.
This slide really lays out the central conflict, doesn't it? If you want a quick, informal chat where you can get feedback right away, you talk. If you need something formal, something that creates a permanent record and maybe even ends the discussion, you write. Choosing the wrong tool for the job, well, it's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. You're setting yourself up to fail before you even begin.
So how does this actually work in the real world? This guide makes it super clear. Let's say you have to deliver some sensitive or bad news. You have to do that face-to-face, right? You need that human connection, that empathy. But what if you're denying a simple request and you really don't want a long back and forth about it? A formal email sends a crystal clear message. This decision has been made and it's final. See how powerful that choice is? It's all about matching your method to your mission.
All right, so we've covered speaking, we've covered writing, but there is one more piece to this whole puzzle. And honestly, it's the one skill that underpins everything else, and it's the one we almost always forget about. But if you can get this one thing right, you will literally double your power as a communicator.
This ancient proverb just says it all, doesn't it? We pour so much energy into crafting what we're going to say, what our point is. We forget that real influence, that a true conversation, doesn't start with talking at all. It starts with something else entirely.
And here it is. This is probably the single most important idea we're going to talk about today. The most important part of talking is listening. We're all so obsessed with getting our own words out, but real communication is a two-way street. And the most powerful lane on that street, it isn't speaking, it's listening.
And look, great listening isn't just sitting there quietly. It's an active process, and it has 5 steps. First, you have to actually receive the message, which means you have to stop talking and let the other person speak. Simple, right? But hard. Second, you have to understand it. You're not just hearing noises. You're trying to get what they really mean. Third, you evaluate it. Does this make sense? What do I think about it? Fourth, you remember the important stuff. And only then, only after all of that, do you respond. See, most of us just skip right to responding. This is the recipe for a conversation that actually goes somewhere.
So I want to leave you with a challenge. Just think about your week ahead. Pick one conversation. Maybe it's with your boss, your partner, a friend, whoever. And in that one conversation, I want you to focus on your listening. Don't just plan what you're going to say, plan how you're going to hear. What's one conversation you're going to make better this week?